It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today with TSWA Hall of Famer Maurice Patton. Here's Chris Yow.
Welcome into this Wednesday edition of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yow, joined by Mo Patton, the Hall of Famer, and intern 2, Lawson Smith. Happy to have you guys with us here in the Lee Company studio and the Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 1017 FM in Columbia, Tennessee. Man, if you are joining us on the drive home, we appreciate you guys listening in. Hope that you will have plenty of time to get excited for this big show we have. It's massive, just huge. All the sports are happening. Oh, wait. Just kidding. The only thing happening is the All-Star game. But the good thing is we prepared for this. So that's exciting.
Well, relatively to yesterday, anyway.
I get there's that.
Yeah.
So we have brand new, newly anointed Columbia Central football coach John Moore. He will be on in the next segment. So if you are waiting for that, and I know a lot of people are waiting for that interview. If you have been waiting for that, it's coming. 4:25. So stick around. Make sure that you stick around for that. Also, the Titans today announced their Ring of Honor inductees for this next year, and particularly putting two of those names in together is interesting to me. So we'll talk about that, of course. Some NBA video game news, which is something we don't ever talk about, but this one's kind of big. This is a big deal. So we'll get to that later this hour as well. Of course, we got baseball. Sounds Braves All-Star game from last night. We'll continue to talk college football as we preview the north of the Pac-12. They will go north, but not quite to Alaska. And then, of course, it's also Wild and Wacky Wednesday. We give you the weirdest and wildest news from across the world. All of that coming up in the show. But first, guys, welcome in. What's going on? Lawson?
I got things going on.
Did you get a new tire? This is the real question.
I did the day that my tire went flat.
Oh, so you took care of that immediately then?
Yeah, I took care of it immediately, and they got it done in about 40 minutes. So
Okay.
it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
That is good.
It sounds as if Lawson is trying to get gainfully employed or trying to move up the ladder to doing so. He's had some conversations and set up some interviews.
This guy.
And that kind. Yeah.
I'm working.
Sir,
on it.
you haven't even gotten our signatures yet. You can't get a
you're not
degree
even
until we're
graduated
done.
yet.
I know, but my mom always said to plan ahead and make sure you got the next thing going.
Oh, and you always listen to your
Hey,
mom.
never quit a job without having one in line.
Hey, I haven't quit yet.
You have an expiration date.
That's true.
At the end of this month is your expiration date. So, I mean, you're kind of quitting either way because we can't afford to pay you.
I mean,
Not right now, anyway.
hey, if I had money for gas, I would want to stay.
He's like, I want to keep doing this. Let's
Yeah,
go.
this is fun.
Maybe we can get you some.
I was about to say, we might can help you with some gas
we
money.
might can get you some fast stop gas cards. or
Oh, there we
something.
go.
Yeah. Emily, if you're listening.
We're going to need some help. Oh, man. Mo, how's it been going?
Yeah, it's going. This deal is still taking some getting used to, obviously. I mean, I have been getting my sleep on.
I'm glad
But
to
at
hear
the
it.
same time, I had time to kind of sit at the house right around 1:30, 2 o'clock.
With nothing to do, twiddling thumbs.
And it was all I could do to get woke up to get in the car and come this way. So, yeah, it is different. But it's kind of cool getting home at like 7 o'clock. And just when I get used to that won't be the case either.
Well, the cool thing about getting home at 7 o'clock or whatever time we get home from leaving here is, like, ball games are going. Like, they're on. So we don't have to sit around and wait. I put Charlie down for a nap at 12:30. As of last report at
She was still asleep.
4 o'clock, she was still asleep. I don't. She didn't nap at all this morning. She napped for about 45 minutes this morning, and then, for whatever reason, she said we got a nap this morning or this afternoon because I didn't get it in. So she did not get her sleep on until 12:30. She slept fine last night.
But she's getting it on now, huh?
She is. And if she don't wake up soon, she may not sleep tonight. So I don't know what we're going to do.
That's the risk that you run.
That's
so, yeah,
high risk, high reward.
Yeah, you want them to sleep, but you don't want them to sleep too long.
That's right.
Got to kind of hit that sweet spot.
Yeah,
the
no
sweet
doubt.
sleep spot.
The sweet sleep spot.
There you go.
Oh, man, 12 minutes past the first hour here. And also in studio with us we have today station owner and operator, Delk Kennedy, and his daughter, and forgive me, did you say Barry?
Barry Kennedy.
Barry Kennedy. Well, so I thought that's what you said, but, my wife works for Barry Coble, so I was like, maybe I heard that wrong because that's what I was thinking. But
Her mama's maiden name is Mary Susan Barry.
Gotcha. I like that.
So that's Berry then.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
It's
Not Berrie.
right, as in Barry Coble. So there you go.
All
Well,
right, guys,
we are
have a
glad
great show.
glad to
Thank
have
you.
you guys with us and listening to us out there in radio land. As we sit here on the banks of the West 7th, as we like to tell people, I will tell you, we have seen some interesting and unique folks running through here and driving through here. The last annual Vol State race has finally made its way through Murray County and out of Murray County. So
They're done. They're gone.
They're on their way to East Tennessee, North Alabama, West Georgia area. I'm not sure. But, I haven't seen that AT&T truck since that one day. I'm just curious if
They just showed up just enough to.
they were showing face.
It happens.
That's what it sounded like. So I don't know. I think we need to get those AT&T folks back out one more time just to make sure. But it does look great out here. The lawn is nicely manicured here at Front Porch Radio, thanks to Expert Landscaping and Chris Chumley. Just, I look out here and I love this view. If you are watching on Facebook and you see if you see the West 7th cam that we have sitting outside our front window, you see exactly what we're looking at, and it's really nice. I like being here in
nice.
Columbia.
It's a nice view. It's a little warm out there, so
That's why we're in here.
boom.
we were, and we had talked about going outside, but I'm glad we have not.
It's too hot for that.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about some semi-local sports. Mo, you may know this guy, Jim McGuire.
Yeah.
I would say, you might have some inkling on as to who this fella is. He is now the head baseball coach at Volunteer State Community College.
I do know this guy.
You know him, huh?
And I'm really happy for this guy. Mags, as they call him,
Okay.
was assistant baseball coach over at MTSU. I think he joined the program in 1993 under Steve Peterson, who took the program over for John Stanford. So they had like 3 baseball coaches over nearly 40 years, roughly. John Stanford, Steve Peterson, Jim McGuire. Jim replaced Pete when he retired and was there, and I'm trying to look this up. Okay, so he was head coach at MTSU from 12 to 18. He had previously been an assistant for nearly 20 years. 2020 Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Famer. Was dismissed in 18 for Jim Tolman, and he has worked with them hit after hit
Oh, okay.
for the past 2 or 3 years.
The Outlaws.
Yeah. He was director of baseball operations for them. In fact, when we
saw him.
Yeah, up at Good Pasture last year. Yeah, and so he is the new coach of the Volunteer State Community College Pioneers. He takes the place of Ryan Hunt, who left there to take over for his dad, Woody, over at Cumberland. So, and for McGuire, this kind of comes full circle because he began his baseball career at the junior college level at Wren Lake in Illinois.
Awesome.
So he's he's got a feel for the junior college game, and it'll be interesting to see what he can get done up there at Gallatin and playing against, Mike Korn and the Chargers down here. And sure, there's some history there already. So looking forward to seeing him back in the college game. Really happy for him. Good dude.
Yeah, I thought
As
it was
all those MTSU folks are.
everybody that's hashtag True Blue.
Hashtag True Blue, no doubt.
And speaking of blue, the Big Blue over at Tennessee State, they've got a little. Tennessee State may have the largest NIL marketing deal in college sports right now with Hersey Miller's $2 million marketing deal. I don't even know what that is and who it's with. I'm not even sure. But he's not the only one. TSU kicker Antonio Zeta has apparently signed an NIL deal.
Yeah, the Lincoln County graduate. I think he got some All-America honors out of this past spring season as well. But he has signed an NIL deal with Boost Mobile. I wonder if he uses Boost Mobile.
I mean, I'm sure.
If he didn't, I guess he does now, huh?
No doubt. When it's free, you use it. And this kid is a really solid kicker. I mean, unfortunately for Tennessee State, I saw him kick like 3 or 4 field goals against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's probably not. It kind of reminds me of that old Steve Spurrier line. Field goals? We don't kick too many of those. Yeah. Well, yeah, TSU did.
So Antonio Zeta, congratulations to that kid. That's awesome.
Yeah, because as you saw this start to formulate, you wondered just how far down this was going to come.
We had talked about that.
Yeah. So clearly FCS kids are getting in on the NIL bandwagon. It's good to see.
It is really good to see. Absolutely. All right. And finally, go ahead.
Yeah, guys. Of course, this is Del Kennedy, and I am a lawyer. Was for most of my career before I bought these 2 radio stations. I was trying to find the name of that Supreme Court case, and we talked about it on my show last week, where the Supreme Court decided that the NCAA could not restrict the award of academic things to athletes, such as, say, an extra year of school if they can't complete school in 4 years, that kind of thing. But the case strictly applied to academic enhancements, advantages, whatever, awards, that kind of thing. And it's really not very clear what that exactly means. But the Supreme Court, I read the case, or most of it, and it gets way down in the weeds. The Supreme Court, though, did say that the NCAA could regulate NIL. That case did not abolish that. And it appears to me that's what happened, and I want to hear what y'all have to say, maybe George Plaster in days to come. It appears to me the NCAA is just thrown in the towel.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what they've done.
That's exactly what they've done. They basically said, look, we could handle this. They actually had somebody in line to handle it, and then it got so big. They were like, no, we're just going to let the schools handle this. And now the schools are in trouble because they don't have anybody who understands.
Because they thought that the NCAA was going to handle it.
Yeah, I think the name of that case is Ralston, but everybody knows it's the Supreme Court case about the NCAA. Yeah. And they specifically said, other than these academic awards or enhancements, the NCAA is free to do what it wants to. And so apparently the NCAA has just said, we're not going to fight the name Independence You Like this battle anymore. But they could do it if they wanted.
They could. I don't think they're going to, because I don't think it does anything to help them, because I also think they see the writing on the wall that if they did try to stop it, that these Power 5 schools were going to just dip out and go to either start their own organization, because the NCAA was found to be in violation of antitrust laws. These Power 5 schools could just tell the NCAA to see you later, alligator.
Yep.
And so they're not going to do that.
Peace out, Cub Scout, as I saw somebody say once.
There was also some interesting stuff in there about the history of the NCAA, which was apparently founded. Teddy Roosevelt, I think, got together a group of people because in that year, some year, 1908, 7, somewhere in there, like 15 people had been killed playing college football. Back in the days when they were using the flying wing and no pads,
Oh, yeah.
no helmets, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was
The
the
wedge.
origins, yeah, the origins of the NCAA, which I thought was an interesting discussion.
It is interesting, and I think you're going to see it evolve, as we've talked about on this show. We're going to see it evolve as time goes on. Real quick before we get to the rundown and get to our second segment, Spring Hill 10U last night, Little League, defeated Morristown. It was an extra innings, a win by the 10U Spring Hill Little League team. They trailed 3-0 going into the bottom of the fifth inning, scored the winning run with 2 outs to go in the bottom of the seventh, so a walk-off win. And we'll talk more about walk-offs later this show as well.
I'm glad that there was an exciting baseball game somewhere last night, because it certainly was not nationally televised.
Unfortunate. Yeah, the All-Star game was not fun, so we'll talk about that as well. So, all right, before we get to segment number 2, let's give you today's rundown.
This is the rundown.
In Major League Baseball action last night, the All-Star game at Denver's Coors Field, the American League defeated the National League 5-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was named the MVP of that game. In minor league baseball action, the host Nashville Sounds defeated the Louisville Bats 2-1.
In Little League State Tournament action, the 12U Little League State Tournament, Morristown 8, Columbia American 5. Columbia American has been eliminated from that state tournament. Head coach our manager, Clayton Harris, told me that a kid from Morristown hit a shot that has not landed yet. So
that kid thought he was at Coors Field. Huh?
He must have. In the 8U Little League Tournament, Columbia American 15, Lexington 4, they move on in elimination bracket play. They will, they've got to win 4 more games, but they're right there. And as I told you earlier, 10U Little League State Tournament, Spring Hill 4, Morristown 3. And in basketball action last night, Team USA rights the ship with a 28-point victory over Argentina, winning 108-80.
They heard us talking about them.
They must have.
In baseball action today, down at First Horizon Park, the Louisville Bats and the Nashville Sounds continue their series. First pitch at 7:05 tonight. Post 19 in action tonight at Alabama Huntsville. They're taking on Post 237. Doubleheader starts at 5:30. NBA Finals action. What is this? Game 4.
Game 3. It's 2. It is game 4. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 2-1. I can't do math, man.
Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Phoenix plays at Milwaukee. The Suns lead this series 2-1. Game begins at 8:00 on ABC. And in high school football action tomorrow, 7-on-7 tournament over at Riverdale. Independent Summit and Mount Pleasant are all in action. Pool play begins at 8:30. Bracket play begins at 11:45. 28 teams over there. We will try to get the pool play schedule up on the website, sm-tnsports.com, sometime before bedtime. But we can tell you that Independence and Summit play at 10 o'clock.
They do.
In pool play, rematch of the Ravenwood
Finals.
7-on-7 finals from a couple of weeks ago. So mark your calendars. Check that out. 7-on-7 at Riverdale tomorrow.
The schedule's on the website, sm-tnsports.com, later this evening. That's going to do it for your Wednesday rundown on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. All right, when we come back, we've got brand new Columbia Central football coach John Moore will join us. So stick around for that. You're definitely going to want to hear what he's got to say. So we will be right back on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint, to the Lee Company studio right after this.
Parks Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Talking high school sports, here's Mo and Chris.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint to the Lee Company Studio and WKOM, the Front Porch Sports Headquarters, right here in Columbia, Tennessee. Happy to have you guys along with us in this exciting week of making it to afternoons. We've got our sleep on. We're making it work, and afternoons have been fun, Mo.
It's been different, but it's been fun. I think it's going to be fun. Just a different dynamic, I think. Like you said, the logistics of it have been a little different, but it's fun.
It has been great,
and I have, in fact, gotten my sleep on. So yes.
That was like number 2 on the reasons for moving to this time zone.
Speak for yourself.
The other one was so that we could reach you guys in your vehicles on your way home from work. Really excited about this next segment, as Coach's Corner is brought to you by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill, located at 4384 Nashville Highway, Suite 200, which is basically just to say they're next door to the gym.
Between the gym and the breakfast barn.
And the breakfast barn. So go see Renee Hart and the fine folks over at From the Heart Cafe. Again, right there on Nashville Highway in Chapel Hill. If you're coming from Columbia, take the right at the end of the road like you're going to Henry Horton. Then it's right there on the right. You can't miss it. And make sure to get their delicious desserts. They are open until 7 p.m. So if you are out and about and you're looking for some dinner options, Renee Hart and From the Heart are there for you.
She'll get you hooked up.
Joining us on Coach's Corner is newly anointed Columbia Central interim head coach, John Moore. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, we were talking off air just a little bit ago. This is your first head coaching assignment. As we sit here now, 37 days from your season opener, not exactly the ideal situation for your head coaching debut, I guess.
No, it's not. This is anything but normal. Just going to try and make the best of it. That's really all I can say. And let me say this before we get into things. I want to thank Jason Hoth for his contribution as a head coach and as an assistant for Columbia Central High School. He's a friend of mine, and he's a good guy, and I only wish him the best. Okay?
And I would think that kind of makes it a tougher situation, John, because you guys have worked together, you are friends, and so that dynamic makes this an odd situation.
Yes, yeah, it is. But it's not about me. It's about these kids, and I keep telling myself that, and we're going to try and come up with a plan to provide these kids so they can achieve their goals.
All right. This is a team that was 6-6 last year, picked up a playoff victory, the first in about 8 or 9 years, I think. So you would think that you've got some momentum on the field moving into this upcoming season.
There's a nucleus of some good players. I coached at Central in 2019, so the senior class and junior class, I have a relationship. Not all those kids played, but I did coach them. Some played. Mm-hmm. I know Christian Biggers played. Harvey played. Antoine played. Lewis Maddox got a little work in. So but there's a nucleus of players there that will give us a chance for success.
Yeah, and speaking of those players, I mean, you and this is coming from a spot of me knowing what you said last Monday night in your parent meeting, but you expect a lot of these players to get time on both sides of the ball.
Well, I've never coached at a school, a big 6A school. Mm-hmm. I never have. I've never been in the highest classification. So I know a lot of schools in Murfreesboro might have 100 players, 120 players, and 45 freshman players. And the coaches, the coaching staff, 15, 18 people. I've never done that.
That luxury has never been afforded to you, huh?
No, at Central, even during our good stretch there 10 years ago, we usually started out with 60, 65 kids and would end up somewhere in the 50s. And that's kind of where we were. But we, in a small school, or not a big school, because Central's not really small. That's probably not a good way to say that.
Smaller,
yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so many athletes you have, and you have to share athletes with other sports. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, your good players, have to play on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's just because a philosophy I have is to get your best players on the field. Got to get them in shape to do that. But that's kind of what I believe. Now, the only time that we did not do that was in 2009 when we were the state runner-up. Our offensive line did not start on defense, and the only player really that played both ways was Tredarius Goff. He split time at tailback and was our Sam linebacker.
And he was just the most valuable player on offense and defense in the state championship game the following year. So, yeah, it's probably a good call.
Yeah.
Not
yes.
many Tredarius Goffs running around Columbia, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the point of getting your best athletes on the field on either side of the ball, makes sense. And, when you've got some of the guys that you've got, that makes sense. And there's one kid in particular I'm thinking of who saw a lot of time on defense, but would probably be pretty dynamic with the ball in his hands. And unfortunately, I cannot remember his last name. Nick Butler strikes me as a guy that just needs to be on the field making plays regardless of what unit it is.
Yeah, Nick was a freshman in 2019, and I think Nick has a lot of potential. So yes, I would agree with that.
Speaking here on Coach's Corner with Columbia Central interim football coach John Moore. Coach's Corner brought to you by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Go see Renee and the gang over there. Coach, again, really a compressed schedule for you guys and your staff. How do you go about trying to speed up the process of getting these folks acclimated to you, of getting you acclimated to them again, and the clock is ticking?
We're under the gun. Nobody's gonna, deny that. But we've got to move forward as best we can. Right now, I only have 5 coaches, including me, in the building, and we're working on trying to get more. But that's easier said than done at this stage of the game. Last night I was trying to wrap my head around how we're going to structure practice, and, because I've got varsity players and I got freshman players out there. I'm not sure exactly what our numbers are. I think we're in the 50s or the 60s. And we got, 5 coaches, and it's a challenge. I think I've come up with a solution. But because we might practice the freshmen at a different time. Nobody knows that yet, but
breaking news right here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. You've got to be inventive. You've got to be creative, obviously.
Yes, if we split our times, that might give us the best chance for success, because those freshmen need a lot of TLC and individual time, and then that makes your group smaller that you work with, and you can get a lot of kids more reps, and that's the biggest thing is getting reps.
Yeah. So I mean, when you are talking about getting these reps in, you had to cancel your participation in some summer events, but in order to make sure that these kids and you were able to get acclimated to one another, it was almost a necessity to make sure you guys were just working together one-on-one.
Correct. That wasn't an easy decision. Not going to the FCA camp. There's a lot of benefit but for that, but I made the decision that the best thing for us is that we work together as much as we can, and learn each other.
Sure. And it could be worse. It could be like last year and you don't get any scrimmages. At least this year you're going to get to scrimmage some other teams and see what you've got before August 20th.
Yes. Last year.
And you know as well as anybody because you were in Metro.
Right. Last year coaching in COVID was tough, but you picked up a few things.
Yeah. I mean, it will, that knowledge, and like you said, like you told me in our story that's on sm-tnsports.com, you've coached in a time that you didn't have all this extra practice ability. So between those two things, do you feel like you can get everything in that you need to get in to be competitive in week 3 against Franklin County when your region schedule starts?
Week 3, I think so. I think so. I mean, there's certain things that philosophically that I believe in, and the biggest one is you have to be a physical football team. Physical football teams give you the best chance to win, and everybody loves to be in the gun and zip it around and throw it here and throw it there, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to do some of that too because we have some good athletes at receiver, but we're going to line up and we're going to run the ball and we're going to ram it down your throat, and that's what we're going to do.
2 questions following up on that statement. One, you mentioned Antoine Moore earlier, all-state defensive end last year for Columbia Central. Do you see a role for him on offense?
2 years ago, Antoine split time with fullback with Watson Harvey. Mm-hmm. So I would like to investigate that again.
I wouldn't want to see him coming through the hole if I'm a linebacker.
Certainly not as a defensive back. So yeah,
2 years ago we had this one drill that we did, and it was kind of like a Oklahoma thing, mm-hmm. something similar. And Antoine was running the ball, and Josh Hand, who was a good player for
mm-hmm.
us,
mm-hmm.
broke loose, and Antoine ran over Josh and gave him a concussion, and my jaw dropped.
Yeah, because Josh, like you said, was not a bad football player.
He was a good player.
So, yeah.
I was like, we might have to get the ball to him.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit, yeah. And the second thing, you mentioned zipping it around. We had an article on the website sm-tnsports.com earlier this week regarding quarterback situations. You guys have, Perry Bowman, you've got Parker Bush, you've got Luke Usselton. As you talk about repping folks, you've got 3 guys that you're looking at quarterback, and again, in a short period of time, that's not necessarily where you want to be at that position. What do you like about those 3 guys?
Well, I remember Perry and Parker from 2 years ago. They're good kids. They work hard, and I think they'll be able to go out and execute some things.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen.
And I'm asking you this as if you've been around them, and obviously that's not the case.
Yeah, I haven't seen Luke throw the ball,
mm-hmm.
But that'll come. And I used to be a person that was a system guy. I used to be a wing T coach, and
that makes sense.
Yep. Whatever the talent was, I tried to fit it into that prism, but I've changed since then because I believe you have to build your offense around what your quarterback can do because that's the most important position on the field.
John Moore, the son of Herschel Moore, who is highly regarded in this area as the father of the wing T
Hall of Fame,
and so it's an apple tree type situation that John Moore would be a wing T disciple, but that makes perfectly good sense. But also, you kind of have to evolve a little bit too,
right? Offensively, I see us. We're gonna do some wing T concepts. We'll put the I formation back in a little bit, and we'll be in the gun too and spreading it out. We'll try to marry those 3 things together.
Well, I think it's going to be a an interesting ride, and I for one am happy that we get to document this. I feel like you have, because of your long-term history as at Columbia Central, but also your ability to understand these kids because of your time in 2019. It could be worse for Columbia Central. I don't think it's going to be as bad as maybe some people think it will be. And I for one, am excited to watch this season unfold. Coach, thank you for what you've done and for coming on the show with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's, we've had the All-Star game last night, so we can talk about that because that's about all there is to talk about.
Yeah.
as far as live sports are concerned,
kind
anyway.
of a slow sports period this last 24, 48 hours.
These 3 days are the slowest in major sports.
Yeah.
Because the All-Star break is pretty much the break for everybody. So we'll talk All-Star game when we come back on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as awarded by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Holland's Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Holland's Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Holland's Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Local high school sports and beyond. It's on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We decided to go ahead and push the All-Star game back to the next segment because we don't have as much time in this segment as we would like to have. So we're gonna push that back in order to talk about these other couple of things before the top of the hour. But first, we need to tell you that this segment is brought to you by our friends at Jones and Lang. Mo, why don't you tell them about Jones and Lang?
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. So be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
The look of a winner. All right. Real quick, Titans are going to put 3 names up in the Ring of Honor. And
I think at least one of them was overdue. This is just my personal opinion, though.
I will agree that one of them was overdue.
Are we both in agreement that it's Bum Phillips?
Nope. Yes. He and I are in agreement that it's Bum Phillips, that Bum Phillips is long overdue. He shouldn't have had to wait this long.
So Bum Phillips is long overdue to be in the Tennessee Titans Ring of Honor.
I mean, he should.
This is the point.
Yeah.
This is why. Because he shouldn't have to be in the Tennessee Titans Ring of Honor. He ought to have been in the Houston Oilers, or at least at some point before.
The Houston Texans?
No, we are the Oilers. We are the Oilers.
Just because they were in Houston doesn't mean Houston owns the team. It was Bud Adams who owned the team, and they turned their back on them.
I think this is going to be an interesting conversation as we lead up to the Ring of Honor, the actual ceremonies, just because there are going to be a number of folks that say he was never associated with the Tennessee Titans.
And again, this franchise, much like the Atlanta Braves are also the Boston Braves and the Boston whatever they were before they were the Braves.
No, they were the Boston Braves and they were the Milwaukee Braves. But
they were something else.
They were in a different city.
No, they were not always the Braves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They did not always have the Braves nickname. So because
I think they were the Boston Bees at one point. Yeah.
So my point is that it's the same organization. So the Houston Texans were an expansion franchise. They did not, much like the Cleveland ordeal where they said, hey, we're petitioning to keep all of our records. Houston did not do that. So we got them. They're ours.
I mean, it's also partially because Bud Adams made it impossible for that to happen, and also made it impossible to have another Houston Oilers or any Oilers team.
Exactly. So anyway, Bum Phillips, Jeff Fisher, and Floyd Reese going into the Ring of Honor. I have to just say that Jeff Fisher going in, obviously winningest coach in franchise history. But the joke is always going to be there. But nobody else has gotten him that close to winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean,
so what do you do?
I don't think there's any argument really with Jeff Fisher going in. I wouldn't think. I mean, again, like you said, he's the only coach to take him to a Super Bowl visit. So whatever, 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, whatever, jokes there are to be made from July to September. I think you have to recognize, again, the one Super Bowl berth that this franchise has earned, he led it. So
I agree. Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and Floyd Reese, ditto. I mean, he pretty well built that.
Yeah,
so.
Fantastic general manager.
And I don't have a problem with Bum Phillips. I'm just saying that I would anticipate that some people would.
Well, I mean, Earl Campbell's name is in the stadium.
Warren Moon is also too.
Warren Moon's name is in the stadium.
Well, so there you go.
I mean, that's why you have to just accept that the history of the Houston franchise lies in Nashville.
There you go.
It just does. And it's unfortunate for Houston, but it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Real quick before we've got about 3 minutes, and I want to talk about this briefly at least.
Mm-hmm.
NBA 2K is going to have 2 covers this year. They'll have an NBA cover and a WNBA cover. The WNBA cover will feature Lady Vol for life, Candace Parker. And I think that's awesome.
I think it is too.
If there's going to be anyone on that cover, I think it's more than deserving to be Candace Parker over anyone.
Here's who it's not. It's not Diana Taurasi. And I'm fantastically happy about that.
It's also not Sue Bird.
Or anybody else who wore a UConn uniform. Because they're all wearing Team USA uniforms, whether they deserve to be or not, and Candace is not. So,
well, I wouldn't necessarily argue that Taurasi or Bird don't deserve
it
to be wearing Team USA jerseys. I'll just say that Candace does.
There you go.
And there's probably about 6 other UConn players on there that don't. But, you know, it is what it is. And we saw a couple of weeks ago Gino trying to weasel out of his involvement in that by saying, well, Dawn Staley helped pick the team too.
Well, that's kind of the point, sir.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Andrew Moore, intern 1, commenting on Facebook, Fisher kept the team together during a nasty divorce in Houston, built a very good team during the early 2000s, rebuilt the team for a short stint after the 04 salary cap purge, and Floyd Reese had a great eye for talent. So I agree.
I did too, especially early 2000, like from 99 to 2003, the Titans were awesome.
Well, just overseeing that whole Houston to Memphis to Nashville thing was
exactly,
as you would say, a whole ordeal.
A whole.
So you know, again, I don't know why anybody would have any issue with any of these 3 guys when it comes right down to it.
I don't think there is any issue, and I don't think anybody's going to have any issue with
Bum
Candace Parker being on the cover of NBA 2K.
Well, except maybe UConn fans.
Well, that's too bad, so sad, love dad.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side of the top of the hour, we will have All-Star Game talk. Going to tell you guys something that you're probably not going to believe. We will talk a little bit about minor league baseball as they have announced what they will do for, quote, postseason for AAA, as it will not be the same as single A and double A, which will have playoffs. The AAA will not have playoffs. We'll tell you what they're going to do. Talk a little bit more about the sounds, and we'll, of course, give you this damn Braves history and much more. Talking college football on the other side and Wild and Wacky Wednesday. So you guys stick around for hour number 2, the 5 o'clock hour, coming to you on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
Hey folks, it's Chandler Anderson from the Right Care Primary Care and Pediatric Clinic. Folks, we are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday. We provide pediatric care, primary care, and even urgent care if you need to get in during those hours. Our provider there is Kelly Kelly. She does DOT exams as well as well woman exams, and she does our pediatric well child physicals. So folks, if you're looking for the right care and a provider that's not going anywhere, come see us at the Right Care Primary Care and Pediatric Office.
Hey, this is Derek Ransom with 10 Pin Alley, voted #1 family entertainment center in Murray County. We offer 32 bowling lanes, giant arcade, laser tag, bumper cars, and a full cafe and bar menu. We also specialize in group events, kids and adult birthday parties, company parties, sports team parties, and holiday parties. We're located at 322 East James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia. Call us today at 931-381-BOWL or visit us at 10pin.com. 10 Pin Alley, it's where the good times roll.
Roofing isn't something you think about until you need it. When you do, let Roof Systems Inc. be your first call. Roof Systems Inc. is locally owned and has been providing excellent service since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes or installing new roofs for large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Why choose Roof Systems Inc.? Well, in our customers' words, best experience I've had with construction-related business. Honest, professional, friendly, and affordable. Call today, 931-398-5977. That's 931-398-5977.
Hi, I'm Chris Chumley, owner of Expert Landscaping LLC. Located in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee, Expert Landscaping specializes in consulting and design for all your outdoor needs, as well as installations for landscaping, pools, patios, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, irrigation, and lighting. Call us today at 931-374-1772. Expert Landscaping, where quality work is an investment in the future.
Summer is the season of fun. Here are some tips to make sure you enjoy yours. Tip number 1, lawn darts still aren't a good idea.
Ouch, these things should be illegal.
I think they are. Tip number 2, you're never too old to chase the ice cream truck.
Hey, slow down. I just want a dreamsicle.
And tip number 3, if you're looking for some real summer fun, play the Summer Instant Games, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
John here, reporting from the Tennessee Lottery Summer Games. Today we have Erica from Knoxville and Janet from Memphis, a dynamic duo going for the green in synchronized scratching. And they're off. The scratching has just begun, and oh boy, is this a feat of athleticism. Look at the dexterity of their fingers and the ferocious tenacity of this team, and the vice grip on that coin. They're going all the way. They've just won the green!
Do you have what it takes to be a big winner this summer? Play the Summer Instant Games with chances to win up to $500,000, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
This is Maurice Patton with Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM, Columbia.
Covering the teams you care about, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, with Mo, here's Chris.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton, Lawson Smith, intern 2 in the house. I am producerless today.
No, you're not.
Oh, no.
You're the producer.
No, I'm just a guy pushing buttons and hoping. Yeah. Although we've managed to make it work. We've been back. We had to go back to the old system because I don't know the new system. So we're back on the old system for now.
We're halfway home.
Halfway home.
And
on Wednesday, on Hump Day. So we're literally on the other side of the week.
Yeah. So
it's 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and you guys are on your way home. Glad that you are. If you are listening, we appreciate it. If you're watching on Facebook, hello, comment, let us know you're there, like, share, all of those things.
Share.
Make sure you share. Share with your friends.
Yeah. Don't hog us all to yourselves.
Twitter and YouTube are also on, I think. I haven't checked YouTube, although I probably should.
Last I checked, Twitter was good. So
Twitter's definitely good. YouTube is, in fact, on, and it's on our website, sm-tnsports.com. You can see it.
What about LinkedIn?
But
we're not on LinkedIn.
We're not on LinkedIn.
So I tried. I was trying to get that going, and it wouldn't let me hit the, schedule show or whatever button. So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this anyway. I'm done with LinkedIn.
We're good.
So
we're good.
I gave them like 2.5 chances.
There's still plenty of places
to find us.
If you're looking.
If you're looking for us on LinkedIn, you're probably looking in the wrong place anyway.
I mean, the simplest is to just go to the website, sm-tnsports.com.
It sure is. That's where you can find the podcast. You can find the video. You can find all of the latest local sports news.
The most timely and comprehensive coverage of area sports.
That's correct. Let's first tell you that this segment here is brought to you by Columbia Academy.
This segment's brought to you by Columbia Academy. They're scheduling appointments for visits. You can find them online at cabulldogs.org. They have campuses in Columbia and in Spring Hill, so be sure and check them out. Again, that's cabulldogs.org, Columbia Academy.
Let's talk a little baseball. The All-Star game last night.
It kind of just happened.
Yeah, that's about what it did.
It was absolutely dreadful to watch. I mean, Vlad's homer was fine, whatever, but...
And unfortunately, Shohei Ohtani's All-Star game performance didn't live up to the hype. He's still having a great season, and he's doing some things that nobody has ever done in the game and may never do again. But last night was pretty anticlimactic as far as he went, and it was pretty anticlimactic as far as the game went.
It's almost like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight.
I don't know about that. I mean, it just didn't happen.
Sure, I'm just saying, who watches Angels games? It's not like they're on Sunday Night Baseball a whole bunch, and I guess, when you're baby brother to the Dodgers in your own town,
right?
It's kind of like, well, I don't
sort of like the Clippers to the Lakers.
There's not a bunch of hype
Yeah.
around me, and even if there was, there's still not.
Well, there probably should be.
There ought to be a lot more than there is.
Yeah. I didn't realize until I watched the game last night. He's got 33 home runs and 70 RBIs at the All-Star break.
At the break.
And a 3.49 ERA in 13 starts.
That's unheard of.
That's straight high school, and I think it's fantastic. But I'm kind of old school.
Well,
I like guys that can do a lot of things.
Yeah,
And I like that the Angels are allowing him to and finding a way to take full advantage of all of his talents. But like you said, kind of being in the shadow of the world champions, it's kind of hard.
I was about to say, if they really wanted to let him, use his talents, they would send him to a team that's,
No, I think they want him to use his talents
for them.
I know, but I'm just saying, the Angels are kind of,
It's tough out there.
When I started getting into baseball, I was shocked to find out that the Angels are a real team. I thought
it was just a movie.
I thought they were based off. I thought it was just the movie Angels in the Outfield.
There you go.
They're a real team. They are a real team.
They even won a world championship.
Sort of like you have a real girlfriend.
Oh, shut up.
They've won a world championship in the last 20 years. So, was it 2001?
It was, yeah.
It was a long time ago.
It's been a while. It's been more recent than Braves, but it's been a while.
I'm not sure. I'm not. You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not sure you were alive when they won the World Series, 2002. So I guess you were.
Yep. 99.
Barely.
But yeah, you were a youngster. They defeated the Giants in 7.
Oh, the year Barry Bonds failed to win because he was on that team.
He was. He was.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
whatever.
but again, it was just kind of anticlimactic all the way around last night, and those uniforms didn't help.
Okay, so I'm cooking in the kitchen, and I hear, "Oh, these uniforms are cool."
Oh no. Who made the uniforms again?
And I said,
Nike made the uniforms, but I mean, somebody had to come up with the idea. I'm not ready to throw Nike completely under the bus on this, but
well, so I said, "Are you sure you like these uniforms?"
You might want to take a closer look there.
yeah,
and she was
because I'm about to put you on the radio if you do. Yeah.
Well, she didn't. She was like, "Oh, I thought this was Atlanta." Well, that doesn't make any sense. She thought it was just the Braves playing, and they had the blue uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
She thought the Braves were in the blue, and she was like, "Well, that's different." I kind of like that, but then I was like, "No, look at the chest," and she was like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I can't read anything. Like, I don't know what any of that is." So, not only did you take them out of their actual uniforms, where we could know exactly who they play for, you made it to where you couldn't read it even on the uniform that you gave them.
Now, I will say this: the caps were kind of cool.
I did like the caps with the logo with the star behind it.
But I think you could have gone with the caps, and they still could have worn their individual uniforms.
Agree.
I think that would have been cool. But you couldn't make as much selling those caps as you can make it selling those jerseys, which is probably the game.
I don't know. I mean, if you bought one of those, I would love to see the numbers of how many they made versus how many they sold, because I'll bet you they lost money.
I hope you're right.
Because they'll never do it again if they did. Yeah. I would love to see. Here's what I would love to see. Everybody's got I guess the NFL kind of calls it the color
rush
uniforms. Okay, so everybody nowadays has the other colored road jersey. Like Atlanta wears the navy, and Boston wears the red. Wear those if you're the away team. And then the home team can wear their home whites or whatever.
Yeah. And I have a real problem with colored pants in baseball.
Dumb. That's
and I didn't really realize it until last night when I was reacting on Twitter to some uniform talk. White at home, gray on the road. End of story.
No offense to Little League, but that's Little League stuff. That's not even little. It's T-ball stuff. T-ball should be the last time you wear colored pants.
I'd agree with that completely. White, gray.
I mean, I think when I was 8,
white
we had
pinstripes.
Yellow pants.
Yellow pants.
Yeah, with royal blue. Oh, it was bad. We were the Mighty Pups.
And the Mighty Pups with yellow pants
and royal blue.
So many jokes there,
and you couldn't read it either because
none of them good.
The screen print was yellow on white with blue pinstripes. You couldn't read anything. It was poor decision. Poor decision.
Oh, bad.
I had no control over that. My dad, however, probably had some say in it. So sorry, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Throwing you under the bus here.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, uniforms like that. White at home, gray on the road, no matter what color your jersey is. Yep.
Period.
I'd be okay if everybody wore their colored jersey. Period.
Well, I think in the All-Star game,
you don't have to have white and other color.
But you could. I mean, you could wear white and then you could wear the other color if you were the away team.
I'm just saying you could all wear different colors because it's not like
football.
Right. It's not like football is my point. You're not trying to throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah.
So I just think it would be cool if they did that because if you go back and look at those 70s uniforms where, the A's were wearing the yellow V-necks and, everybody had different colors. Mm-hmm. They weren't white and gray. They were colored, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Do that.
The only thing that may have been worse than the uniforms, maybe, were the defensive shifts in the infield.
Man, it's an all-star game. play baseball.
Why are we shifting in an all-star game?
I mean, why not? Hey, you play to win the game.
An exhibition game. That means nothing now that they've gotten rid of that winner gets home field advantage in the World Series. It means nothing.
But
you want to win the game, clearly. I mean, Herm Edwards is not wrong. You do play to win the game. But you also play to show the talents of the best players in the game in this game. And when you've got three guys on one side of the infield, come on.
As I'm listening to George Plaster on the way in, Watson Brown brings up a great point about the intensity level that was once seen in the MLB All-Star Game as opposed to other professional sports All-Star games. You just don't see that type of intensity anymore. But you don't see that in regular season either because, like Freddie Freeman and Aaron Judge last night when they're at first base, and Freddie's talking about how he's going to look short compared to Aaron Judge if he gets to first base. That's just what Freddie does. He talks to people like that in the regular season.
And I don't have a problem with that.
No.
I don't think
he wants to win any less because he's joking.
And I don't think any of us wants to see Pete Rose run through Ray Fosse in an All-Star game.
Well, I think Lawson might. He is a hockey guy.
Not in an All-Star game.
No, but
especially in this All-Star game where teams have the rest of their seasons to play.
Sure.
What if Acuna does what he did on Saturday last night?
Nobody
wants that.
Nobody. No, you're right. I'm just saying I don't think there's any less intensity or any just because there is less intensity, I don't think there's any less of
desire
to win.
Yeah.
That being said, I agree that shifting in an all-star game is trash can juice.
Yeah.
So
as were those uniforms.
The Nashville Sounds, big winners last night as they do what they do.
Right.
The Nashville Sounds are last year's Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
If they get to the ninth and they're anywhere within striking distance, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah. Tim Lopes with the sexy walk-off sacrifice fly last night.
Yeah, buddy.
Scoring Cooper Hummel to give the host Sounds a 2-1 10-inning victory over the Louisville Bats to open that 6-game series at First Horizon Park. As we mentioned in the rundown, those two will continue their series tonight at 7:05. Sounds 38-22 with that win, matching their most games over 500 of the year at 16. Louisville falls to 24-35. As Carson Fulmer, former Vandy boy, takes the loss at First Horizon. Alec Bettinger turned 26 yesterday, celebrated with 6 scoreless innings and 12 strikeouts.
That's a good day.
That's a
Happy
pretty
birthday,
good
Alec.
birthday. You don't get much better than that, I don't guess. I guess he could have gotten the win maybe, but other than that, he took the no decision. But that was the 7th walk-off of the year.
Weigel got the win. Patrick Weigel.
There we go.
Yes, the 7th walk-off of the year for the Sounds. And I've seen like 2 of them. So
that's pretty impressive.
It's crazy. They, like I said, if they're within striking distance in the 9th, you better watch out because this team can hit.
Yeah.
Also, in other minor league news, the Sounds posted today and announced that their season has been extended by, I think it's 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
They will host Columbus in a 5-game series immediately following their final regular season series that was supposed to be against Memphis, but now it will be against Columbus.
So then are they going to Columbus for 5 games, or where do the other 5 games
I don't
come
know.
from?
I didn't see it.
Really?
It didn't say. So
Interesting. So the Braves obviously are off tonight, and tomorrow night they resume play Friday against visiting Tampa. So, or Tampa Bay, or whatever they are. Yeah. Meanwhile, this day in Braves history, on July 14th, 1968, Hank Aaron became the 8th major leaguer to reach the 500 home run plateau, hitting a 3-run shot in the 3rd inning off Mike McCormick that proved to be the difference in Atlanta's 4-2 win over visiting San Francisco. Aaron's homer came a year to the day after former Braves teammate Eddie Matthews reached the 500 home run milestone for the Astros at Candlestick Park against Giants ace Juan Marichal. So, July 14th, a big day.
Big day.
In 67 and 68. Not so big today because there's nothing going on.
Nothing. Not a darn thing.
Except Game 4 of the NBA Finals and
Little League.
A couple of Little League games.
And post 19 if you want to go to Huntsville.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
about it. Go to
you better hurry.
Zero reason not to go to First Horizon Park tonight. None.
Yeah.
Zero reason.
Nothing on
If you
TV.
get there now, as a matter of fact, you can be in line to get the Johnny Cash wind-up racer.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, all three of us need to go to a Sounds game at some point. At least I think so.
Yes, I'm a big fan. I love going. So,
Of course, the next time Chris goes, he's got to pick something up while he's there.
What's that?
A credential.
My media credential got washed in the washer.
Oh.
No bueno. No bueno. It's all right. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, guys, we're going to talk about the Pac-12 North Division, which we know all the things about. So, yeah.
Where's Matt Rogers when you need him?
Stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, as we come right back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
Parks Motor Sales in Columbia has a large assortment of quality new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, a trusted sales staff, and financing plans that fit any budget. Visit Parks once and you'll quickly discover why people all over Middle Tennessee have been buying vehicles there for more than 60 years. And factory-certified technicians can service and repair your vehicle as long as you own it. Go to parksmotorsales.com or stop by the lot at 919 Nashville Highway and take a test drive today.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. Have you been hauling your own garbage to the convenience center? Are you tired of doing it? Does your work schedule keep you from hauling it off regularly? Is your teenage son not taking it off like he promised when he got his driver's license? Do you have something better to do on Saturday? If any of these questions strike home to you, call the garbage man at 931-540-0919 and your problem will be solved.
Do you know Tillis Jewelry creates custom one-of-a-kind pieces that are available in our store now?
Hello, this is Rick Tillis, and that's right. We are known for our custom designs. We create jewelry using old mine cut or European cut diamonds to rare colored gemstones. We create these custom pieces for each season. I'm sure you can find something for yourself or a loved one.
Stop by our showroom and try on a Tillis Jewelry custom piece today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to view our designs and much more.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter, like the drywall that somehow isn't. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, Beck Dental Care has been the personalized and comfortable option for the health of your smile. The caring staff maintains a high level of safety protocols and attention to detail. Advanced technology provides your choice of sedation and the best of dental implant solutions to restore complete oral health. Open until 7 p.m. 2 nights a week. 931-388-8452. Beck Dental Care in Columbia, 1603 Rosewood Drive.
Local high school sports and beyond. It's on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris, Yow, Mo, Patton, Lawson Smith here with you in the Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 1017 FM and the Lee Company studio. Happy to have you along with us. 28 minutes past the hour here. And a beautiful day as we look outside the front porch window here out on the West 7th. Construction issues. It's terrible. It is what it is. We've come to this is just what it is at this point. So as we continue our college football talks, and we get into the Pac-12 specifically, I think the big key here, or the big question here, is at what point does the Pac-12 become relevant in the top 4 college football playoff talks again?
Well, it's not this year. I mean, I don't know when it is, but it's not this year.
Is Oregon primed for an opportunity to at least play into that conversation?
The conversation starts with Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and probably Georgia, right?
It's definitely the first 3. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot toss-up.
Okay, so after that, it's a crapshoot toss-up. So what you're asking, I mean, who's in that next level?
My thought is, I don't think anybody in the Pac-12 can beat Oregon.
Right.
So, I mean, if they go undefeated, they're going to be in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
But what if Oklahoma goes undefeated, and you have to choose between those two?
It's Oklahoma,
even though they're 0-3 and three tries before.
Yep.
I mean, it's
just because, again, I think if you look at who Oklahoma has to play to get undefeated and who Oregon has to play to get undefeated, I think the people making that decision are going to, and it's supposed to be based on this year.
I know. But you don't think that history played a part in getting Alabama in once or twice? At least once?
Probably.
The year they won the national championship over Georgia, they may or may not should have been in the playoffs at all.
Well, the year that they beat LSU?
Yeah. Well, that was.
I mean, but I mean, I just don't know that Oregon's going to get that benefit of the doubt, even as Oklahoma, like you said, has. I won't say what I almost said, but even though Oklahoma has not fared very well in those games once they've gotten there.
Well, if anybody's going to, it's Oregon.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's all or nothing for the Pac-12 with Oregon.
And it's on the backs of Mario Cristobal and offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead, by the way.
That's funny to think about, isn't it?
The fact that Cristobal and Joe Moorhead are in Oregon, in Eugene, what?
Yeah, I mean, Mario Cristobal, who's been a Florida guy basically throughout his collegiate coaching rise is suddenly the guy at Oregon, and Joe Moorhead, who struggled about, like we're talking about Oklahoma, at Mississippi State.
I mean, essentially, if Oregon gets in, it'll be because they beat Ohio State in week 1 or 2 that they play Ohio State. I mean, that's basically going to determine whether or not the Pac-12 has a chance.
The thing about that is, I think
because it's so
I think
early?
Ohio State has a better chance of overcoming that loss.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but I think if Oregon was to win that game and it came down to them
and go undefeated,
and it came down to them and somebody else, that gets them in over whoever
else. Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. The Ducks had they lost the most turnovers of any team in the Pac-12 last year was 16, but I don't think that's going to be a big deal. You know, last year they lost a lot of defensive players because of the opting out situation.
Mm-hmm.
They get 7 starters back, and I think that's going to be kind of their big selling point is they're going to be the best defense in the Pac-12. Now, other teams in the North, you've got Washington, who, I mean, after you lose or you go to they were in the playoff, right? They were in the playoff.
Mm-hmm. Who's that?
Washington. They were in the college football playoff that one year, right?
Yeah. They've been before. I mean, they weren't this past year.
Right, but so that's a program that was on the rise, and then your head coach leaves. And now you've got a guy named Jimmy Lake, who I've never heard of. And they're supposed to be the second best team in this in this division.
And they may very well be.
You're right. They very well may be. I don't know if there's Washington is where I'm not sure. Their quarterback is Dylan Morris this year. Mm-hmm. I think he played a little bit, but Sam Heward transferred up there.
Where was he? Is that Brock Heward's kid?
Probably.
Because he played at Washington.
Yes. Yes. So he was the nation's number 1 pro-style quarterback and number 3 overall prospect coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, is he a guy that, he's a true freshman, so he's not a transfer.
Okay.
He's a true freshman. Is he a guy that can come in and, bring life to that program? I don't know. Maybe.
And it's like you said. I mean, they're breaking in a first-year coach in Lake, and I think he was an assistant on that previous staff. So,
I mean,
the jury's definitely out on him. But again, Oregon has to be their best chance for a college football playoff participant.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the same division that Jarrett Garantano is going to be starting in. So
that should be interesting.
Winning this division isn't going to help you in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Well, I mean, and Washington, this division consists of Oregon, Washington, Stanford, Oregon State, California, and Washington State.
Correct.
And like you said, Oregon State, Cal, and Washington State don't impress anybody. Stanford and Washington maybe somewhat more. I mean, Stanford has been a college football playoff contender. I don't know that have they been in it?
No.
So, looking at that division, history is not on, Oregon's side as far as being able to build up enough momentum to impress folks by sweeping through that. So I think given the structure of college football right now, it's tough for a Pac-10 team to break in there, and I don't know how they overcome that.
Stanford coming off 4-2 season last year. That's solid for David Shaw. I think Stanford is always that team that's the one you got to watch out for.
Yeah, because they're always right there. I mean, they're a team that week in and week out is going to be competitive going out, and for the most part, they're not going to beat themselves. And so you're going to have to, I mean, you've got to, it sounds cliche-ish, but you've got to be on your A game every day when you go out against them because they can beat anybody that they line up against.
But they can't go undefeated because they play 12 Power 5 opponents, and their 4 cross-division games are against the projected top 4 teams in the Pac-12 South. So it's like, you know.
Who are their non-conference? Obviously, Notre Dame is one of them.
Notre Dame is one. I'm not sure who the rest of their I think they have, 2 other? Let's see. No, just one other because they play a 10-game.
Does the Pac-12 play?
5-4. No, they do play. They play a 9-game.
Okay, so Stanford's 21.
Kansas State and Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they played Vandy, but I wasn't sure. They do play Vanderbilt on the 18th of September.
Yeah, they open against Kansas State. They play Vanderbilt. I assume that's at Stanford on the 18th of September. And then they finish up at Notre Dame. No, I'm sorry. So they play Notre Dame at home.
Stanford is here.
That's Stanford. Oh.
It's here.
Oh. Yeah.
7:00 kick, by the way.
Reading is fundamental.
Totally worth the trip.
Oh, this Stanford-Kansas State game is one of those preseason games or early season games at neutral sites. That's at AT&T Stadium in Arlington on the 4th.
Stanford and Kansas State are going to play somewhere else? And they think people are going to come to this.
Well, fortunately, it's at Arlington, Texas. So, I mean, I would expect there to be a pretty good K-State contingent there.
Do they do, like, multiple games at these things now?
I think it's like maybe
a Friday,
3 games. Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that.
Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, this is Labor Day weekend. It might even be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday because the NFL hadn't started yet that weekend.
Right. That's the only way I can see that making sense. I don't know. I mean,
it's the season opener for Kansas State. Hope springs eternal. You know, everybody's 0-0, all that other stuff. Throw the records out the window. Well, there are no records. You know? So, it's an 11:00 start. It might be a doubleheader on Saturday.
Well, I'm thinking you could probably get double the tickets there.
Well, and to your point, it's an 11:00 Central Time game. You can probably get everybody out and get another crowd in for the late nighter if you played a doubleheader.
Yeah, whatever that may be. I
tell you, this Stanford-Vanderbilt game in Nashville, that's
intriguing.
Yeah. We might ought to try to get credential for that.
It's intriguing. I would love to see it. At 7:00 at Vanderbilt Stadium.
I'd love to see Stanford. I think David Shaw does a great job.
I agree. As we look at previewing the potential options for, defensive players of the year and whatnots, Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive lineman of Oregon, preseason defensive player of the year, unanimous selection.
He sounds like a player, even if he's not. Kayvon Thibodeau.
He sounds like he's from Louisiana, which means he's going to dominate the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Is it Tim DeRuyter?
I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
But he's their new defensive coordinator, and I think he's going to be a huge hire in that situation. But there is one player that I want to spell this name, and I want you to try to pronounce it. Okay.
Okay.
This is how we're going to do this. Are you ready?
Sure.
It is Tuli is the first name. So Tuli.
Tuli.
Letuli Gasenoa.
Oh, good. No, I'm gone.
Letuli Gasenoa?
I guess. Letuli something. I mean, I got that far, and then you lost me.
Letuli Gasenoa. Letuli Gasenoa. Defensive lineman. Projected to be the breakout player for the Huskies.
I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but I tell you what, man, those Samoan guys up front, they're beasts.
It's tough to get around them.
Yeah. Because typically they're really short and they've got low centers of gravity and they're so athletic.
I don't know how they're so athletic. It's like, I guess if you have to run on sand all the time, makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell you that Oregon State is going to contend for the North title.
Okay.
This is a team that they beat Oregon last year, by the way. Remember that. They beat the eventual Pac-12 champion and despite going like 2-4, all 4 of their losses last year, 13 points or less. So if you have any type of guys coming back, any type of leadership,
catch a break
here or there, Oregon State could contend for that North title. Just going to throw that out there. It's what I got.
There you go.
I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for our Pac-12 North preview. We didn't have Matt Rogers on. Probably should have. I'm sure he keeps up with it.
I don't know, though. He might be resting his voice these days.
He can't
because he's going to be doing double duty this fall.
We know. He is. He's going to be Friday nights and Sundays. He'll be busy. You'll hear him on these airwaves on Friday nights with Mike Epley calling Summit Spartans games, and then on Sunday, if you venture over to Nissan Stadium, he is the new public address voice of the Titans. That's Pavat.
Not the Vot.
The Pavat.
Yeah, there we go.
So there you go. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is Wild and Wacky Wednesday. And that's always fun. Weirdest and wildest news from across the world right here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint, Lee Company Studio, right after this.
One-stop shopping. That's why so many people shop Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat of Columbia. As the #1 volume CDJR dealer in Tennessee, we offer the largest selection of new Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler vehicles. And when you have the largest selection of new, you have the largest selection of used, too. Combine that with state-of-the-art, fast, accurate service, and you've got Tennessee's #1 volume dealer. Shop online at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Columbia.net. Middle Tennessee's Ram Truck and Jeep headquarters. You can count on us. Based on combined retail and fleet sales as reported by Chrysler in the state of Tennessee in 2019.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Holland's Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Holland's Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Holland's Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
If you come to Arby's from 2 to 5 p.m., you can get sliders for $1. For another $1, you can get a small drink or fries or a snack shake. And for the low price of another $1, you can round out this afternoon snack with warm cookies. It's really a meal at this point, but call it a snack. That way, you can come back for dinner. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Nice Traeger grill. Thanks, man. Hiller gave it to us for free when I bought my new HVAC unit. We also upgraded to a tankless water heater and got this free Yeti cooler. What a deal.
This month, when you buy select new HVAC systems from Hiller, we'll give you a free Traeger grill. And you'll get a free Yeti cooler when you buy a new tankless water heater. Enjoy great upgrades for your home and some free backyard upgrades for your family. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Serving Murray County for 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has provided the highest quality jewelry at the very best prices. They work hard to make their customers happy, and it's paid off. Their customers keep going back. Quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. We offer jewelry loans up to $4,500, and we will buy your gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still the same. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Terrence here at Shepherd Lumberyard, where we value you, the customer. We've been serving Columbia and surrounding areas since 1946. We're located in our new location at 103 Cemetery Avenue. Anything that has to do with building or remodeling, we're here to assist. When you shop local, you help shape the community. We are locally owned, family owned, and veteran owned. And by the way, God is in charge. You can reach us at 931-388-3612, and our website is shepherdlumberyard@yahoo.com.
Welcome back to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, the sports talk show you've always wanted.
So true. So true. I know you guys have just been, you've been begging for this particular sports talk show for your entire lives, but now it's here. You've got us.
You're welcome.
12 minutes to the top of the hour. And it's time for the weirdest and wildest news from across the world as we get wild and wacky. And today, do we have any Subway news to go over?
Subway hasn't been popping off like they have.
Yeah. They were like, that whole thing about the no press is, or all press is good press. I don't think that's so true. Yeah. Maybe we calm down, guys. I mean,
reel this thing in a little bit.
It's not real tuna. It's not real bread. Is anything they got real? Apparently not. So anyway, I hate that we missed this yesterday because I'm really I would have taken full advantage of this, guys. We've taken full advantage of the fact that IHOP, who was celebrating its 63rd birthday yesterday, was offering 58-cent short stacks of pancakes.
Oh, what's funny is we went to IHOP today after.
Did you?
After Jody got
you
done with
missed
PT.
it.
Yeah, I had no idea. We'd have gone yesterday.
I didn't know, or we were going yesterday.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Tough. If it'd been Wild and Wacky Tuesday, we'd have known. We didn't know.
You need to start pre-screening that stuff.
That's what I'm going to start doing, yeah. Hey, let's start in Nashville. I mean, might as well. Because guess what I had for lunch today?
Food.
Taco Bell.
Okay.
Guess where I didn't get Taco Bell from? Whichever store in Nashville it was where the employees set off the fireworks and then locked themselves out of the building and had to watch it burn from the outside.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How did they lock themselves out?
That's a great question. So here's essentially what happened. Taco Bell been known to make a fire inside your belly. They decided to make a fire inside the store. Because apparently on the surveillance cameras, they locked the place up to keep customers out. They ran around with fireworks in their hands, and they went into the men's bathroom, ignited some kind of firework in a trash can. Then they had the brilliant idea to do the same thing in a trash can in the main dining room. Well, they filmed it on their phones, went outside to get a better view, but then realized they locked themselves out. While they watched the explosions, one of the fireworks ignited a full-on fire in the restaurant. They had to call 911. Firefighters came, and $30,000 in damage. 25-year-old Courtney Mays, the shift leader, was arrested and charged with felony aggravated arson.
And fired.
and I'm sure she was fired. I'm going to have a problem with the arson thing because I feel like intent has to matter here. And I don't think she intentionally set the place on fire, despite the fact that she lit something on fire and
in the building.
In the building.
Yeah, you know.
But it is what it is.
I mean, you can't charge anybody with stupidity, I don't guess.
There you go.
so felony arsoning is the next best thing. I don't know.
As the father of the $2 million man once said, get you 12 white folks and take them to trial. So that's all I got. Take it to trial and hope. Hope that they see it your way. Oh, man.
Okay.
Little Master P history there for you.
I got one from Florida man.
Oh, you got a Florida man? This is
Florida man.
Hey, last resort, just go to Florida man.
Just Google it. And
there you
see
go.
What comes up.
A Florida man was, I don't know, I think he was charged, but he was charged for shooting down a police drone because he thought the police drone was harassing him.
Was the drone harassing him or the police in general?
The drone in question was actually investigating a nearby burglary. When
they got drones now.
when 50-year-old Wendell Goney from Mount Dora, Florida,
of course it's from
matters
Dora,
into his own hands and shot the police drone with his .22 caliber rifle 2 times before going back inside his house. The drone would then plummet and crash and catch fire after colliding nearby with a structure. Greg Gooney, however, has a history of run-ins with the police, and he was convicted of aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer back in 2013. So now he's facing a number of new charges, including possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and criminal mischief.
Oh, well, sad day for him. All right, so I'm going to preface this by saying that my high school English teacher was also once on the news for this exact same thing. Okay?
Shooting down a drone?
No. The thing I'm about to tell you. I said preface.
My bad. I'm sorry.
A man is in jail after deputies said he tried to break into a Harrison Township home, which is in Pennsylvania, of course, because he was chased out of the home by a 15-year-old wielding a samurai sword. This is a true story. My high school English teacher actually chased a burglar out of her home with a samurai sword. This exact same thing. Apparently, this was during a birthday party. 4 children ranging from 11 to 15 were at home while their parents were at work. I'm sorry, so it's not a birthday party. It's just these 4 kids. The 15-year-old apparently the babysitter. Kids call in a panic, the father said, saying somebody was trying to break in. And he said, I'll tell you what, I was scared to death. But the father pulled up the home surveillance on his phone, saw the man causing damage to his property, including appearing to hammer the pool. I guess that's above ground pool. I don't know. Video later showed the man pulling away rapidly in a car because this kids basically grabbed a samurai sword and ran after him.
I mean, hey, home defense. Samurai sword works.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
I'm here for your high school English teacher.
Same thing. Fantastic. I mean, if there's a better weapon in the home than a samurai sword to be chasing someone out with, you won't convince me otherwise. There's nothing better than that.
Facts.
I mean, I guess we're going all Carrie Fisher on everybody, but no, I mean, a samurai sword has got to be the coolest. I mean, come out look like Tom Cruise in whatever movie that was, The Last Samurai.
Or John Belushi.
Well, yeah. And wow. Oh, man. All right. One last thing before we get out of here on Wild and Wacky Wednesday. A guy in Pennsylvania stole a bunch of stuff from a sporting goods store earlier this month. You know how he got caught? Anybody?
I'm scared to ask.
Well, he walked off with $2,000 worth of clothes and shoes that he didn't pay for. He packed it in his car and could have just left, but then he decided to walk back in the store and try to return something that he didn't want.
That he had stolen.
That he'd stolen. It's not clear if he tried to get a refund or just had no use for it and was trying to give it back, but when he walked in, they accused him of stealing, so he took off. Cops tracked him down using surveillance footage, and he's now facing charges for retail theft and receiving stolen property. I'm just saying, you know,
If they could charge people for stupidity.
if they could charge people for stupidity, sure. But, you know, if you didn't want it, you ain't never heard of Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Craigslist.
Clearly not.
Literally anything else where you could have sold it for, I mean.
Where you didn't have to go back in the store.
That you just left because you stole? I got nothing. I got nothing. That's going to do it for Wild and Wacky Wednesday here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Oh, man. It's been a fun ride. We are on the other side of week number 1 in the afternoon time slot. Hope you guys have enjoyed Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today on the drive home the last couple of days, and George Plaster starting at 2 o'clock each and every weekday right here on WKOM. We will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel right here. 4 p.m. following George Plaster. And it's going to be a big day. Big day. We'll actually have some baseball to talk about, I guess. I mean, no, the Braves don't play till Friday. Golly. This is no good.
Whole week.
You know, all this. Yeah.
Hey, plenty of time to reset.
At least we're not losing.
There's that.
But so yeah. But yeah, we've got plenty to talk about. We will get to more Pac-12 talk, the South part of that, because there's a lot to talk about there, including the Arizona State situation. So
we'll also be able to talk a little 7-on-7 from over at Riverdale.
That's right. We will be at Riverdale in the morning. So follow us, SM_TN Sports on Twitter.
Hey, hopefully this time I can remember my sunscreen.
Oh, good plan. Good plan. It'll be,
excellent plan.
Good idea. So yeah, follow us on Twitter for updates at the Riverdale 7-on-7 in the morning, and stick around for Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Again, it's at, what did I say? 4 o'clock tomorrow? Something like
6.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
4 to 6.
we will be right here. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today for Lawson Smith, Mo Patton. I'm Chris Yow saying goodbye from the Lee Company studio, and stay cool, Columbia.
This is Eli Gold, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.